All right, there you go, guys. How much does it cost to overdrive your RSX? Now, this list will also work for the EP3 and the EM2. So we're gonna go ahead and break it down. I have a whole list for you guys that I have here that I overdrive my RSX. Now, this RSX is making 800 horsepower, and to be exactly, made 796 horsepower on the dyno. Now, we're just gonna go over the overdrive parts that I use for this car. We're not gonna go over, the built motor, the built transmission. This is what it originally cost me to overdrive it. I have the whole list here. We're gonna go over everything that you will need in order to be successful and overdrive your RSX. Now, it did take me a while to overdrive it. I would say to gather the parts, but you watching this video, I wish somebody made a video like this and, have a guide. Now, I will say this, can you do this cheaper than it will be on this list? Absolutely. Okay. But this is done right. This is done to even hold over 1,000 horsepower, and that'll be the drivetrain. Okay, and we're gonna go over that. And this is what I mean. Yes, it can be done cheaper. Don't mind my skeleton there. My wife put it. But anyways, I'm gonna go down the list. What the parts that I pay for, and again, this is how would I put it? This is a successful setup. This is something that I will highly recommend to replicate. It is a lot of money, but for what you get and how much abuse I have put through this car, it is absolutely amazing. And this is what I mean. You can do it cheaper. It doesn't mean it's going to be reliable. Okay. But we're going to go down the list of the parts that I bought and some of the parts that I also built and sell for these cars that I used to. This car is pretty much my mock-up, my jig to make all the parts that I kind of sell here. So the very first thing, okay, you're going to need a subframe. That's going to be a CRV or Element subframe, okay? I believe it's from the 02 to 07 or 06, either CRV or Element subframe. And that's just the subframe you need. You do not need the lower control arms. You don't need the sway bar. You don't need none of that. All you need is a CRV or Honda Element subframe in order to get this to work. The next thing, okay, you're going to need a rear motor mount, okay? You cannot use, you can't, but I am telling you, if you're overdriving your car and you cannot spare $120 to buy a rear Hasbro motor mount, you should not even be doing this. It's that simple. Don't even try to put the stock one in the back. It fits, but it's tight. And I'm telling you, just don't, guys. It's just, like I said, if you're doing this, I did this right, and I have no issues. I have so much fun with this car. It is absolutely amazing. Okay, next one. Okay, again, this is done right. This makes 800 horsepower, and I beat the crap out of this car. Okay, next one is gonna be an overdrive. Mind this, I'm trying to do this for you guys here. It's gonna be an overdrive transmission. Now, I paid, I think, 11 or 1,200, and that is just for a stock overdrive transmission, which includes this is the one right here, like it will be, it will the front and the back house and the transfer case. That was $1,200, okay, and that is a stock one. Now, I do not have a stock drivetrain right now at the moment. I have a PPG 1 to 4th and a PPG final drive, and that's because the car is making 800. And one thing I will put this into that is, if you're overdriving your RSX to make 500 horsepower, just I'm not trying to put you down, but don't do it. It is a thing that you're gonna want to crave more, and it is a non-stopping thing that honestly, you can get enough traction with good tire with 400 or 500 horsepower. I feel like if you're gonna overdrive your car, you should be craving for more than 600 plus horsepower. If you're doing anything under that, just stay front wheel drive. Yes, it looks badass, it looks cool, but the amount of money you're gonna spend and you're just gonna make that little bit of power, it is not worth it, okay? And that's gonna be the next topic. It's gonna be the dry shaft and the differential. As you can see here, that is a big number. That's probably one of the biggest one. It's gonna be a $4,000. And that specifically is gonna be because you can go with a CRV or you can go with the wagon like I did. And the wagon, people have gone 7 seconds with that. okay? And let me quickly show you. I'm not gonna be able to show much here. It's getting a little bit dark, but we're gonna go over it. I'm not gonna sure if you're gonna see much here. Okay, so I have a wagon differential in the back. I'll put a picture there for you guys, and a wagon drive shaft, okay? And with the $4,000, I also upgraded the U-joints on the drive shaft to a 1310. So all in total, that cost me $4,000, okay? Now, can you do this with a CRV? Absolutely, you can. Is it gonna handle the power? I don't know. It definitely doesn't for a lot of people. I didn't want to take the risk. Like I said, I have digged the car. I have launched the car. I'm talking about everything you can want to do on an overdrive car and does not break at all. Now, that is with a good price tag. It's a $4,000 price tag. Now, you can do this with a CRV, and I'm going to say with a decent built one, just about $2,000. So it's worth to save the $2,000 and know that you really, can't really push it. It's really up to you. I didn't want to take the risk after I originally built another Overdrive Rsx, and I did the cheaper route, and you can see what I didn't do it this time, okay? It is, you spend more money and you're down more than if you would have just spent the money one time. So everything here done right was mistakes that I made on my other car. And I wish somebody would have, shared a video like this. And obviously, it's not cheap. It's definitely expensive, but this is done right. This is just so much fun. It is absolutely crazy. I'll put a video there. I just raced the Evo the other day, and it destroyed the Evo. All right, the next one, okay? And that is gonna be a differential diff mount. Now, there's a lot of them in the market. All I gotta say is be careful what you buy. Do your research. This is the one that I made for this car, for the RSX. Again, this will work for EP3 and EM2. And you can see here, this is the one that I offer. And this one, we're currently making 800. And then I have another RSX that's making around 1400 horsepower. So if I didn't have it, it wouldn't be here, okay? So it works. So do your research. Know what companies are really testing the products when it comes to stuff like this. All right, the next one, and that's $700. It's gonna be your fuel tanks. Now, this is a little pricey tag, and this was done on my car, and this is the stuff that I sell. Okay, so on my car, I have a 19-gallon fuel tank, okay? You may say like, what the heck? You can do this a lot cheaper. You can do one, but here's the thing, right? So the one that I sell, it is two tanks in the bottom of the car. There is an 11-gallon on one side and an 8-gallon on this side. So the total about 19.2 gallons it total gets. You can do this with a the ones on eBay, which are around like $100, $200. Now the problem with those are not gonna fit underneath your car like this ones do, because these are specifically made. You can see here, I have nothing here. My car is like, there's no gas tank. A lot of people put their tanks over here. Like I said, I also did that on my other car. I went that route. I hated it because all the smell was inside the car, and I hated it. So this time, and also anytime I put gas, I needed to put gas and open the trunk, and I hated it. So now the way I pump my gas is just very simple. I just put it through here, It's all, I'm gonna try to put some pictures there for you guys to know what I'm talking about. But you can see here, you might be able to, I don't think you'll be able to see much, but there's two tanks back there, okay? And then again, I'm showing you that you can do this cheaper, but there's also the cons. And also the cons of it is if you get the one from eBay, your fuel gauge will not work. It's the ones we sell, it actually uses your factory, the factory fuel level unit and everything in there. I have a full video on that. Next one, and I'm trying to go here, trying to show you guys everything. And that's gonna be, we said the fuel tank. What's the next one? Oh, the tunnel. You definitely need to put a tunnel on this, and this is the tunnel that I sell. This is can you do this cheaper? Absolutely. And this is what, I'm not here trying to sell you guys on parts. I'm here trying to show you what it cost me to build my car and the way we did it, and some of the things that I want to share, because I made mistakes on my other car. And one of the mistakes with the overdrive tunnel is, again, be careful who sells this stuff. Okay, I'm gonna save the last number so you guys can see it. So with all my overdrive tunnel is unlike the ones for other people that sell it. Check it out. Mine actually has my center console in here, has my e-brake. Okay, that's one of the crazy things, because on e-brake you cannot keep e-brake on an RSX only with the tunnel that I sell, and you're able to slide your seats here. Check it out. I'm doing this one hand, but the point is you can slide this forward and back. Look at that. So that's what I'm trying to say. Can you do this cheaper? Do they sell cheaper overdrive tunnels? Absolutely. Is it gonna be able to slide your seat forward and back? No, it's not. We spent a lot of time trying to get this. I wanted this car to be like factory. You can get in here and not worry about nothing, you know, having it fully gutted. So this is what I'm saying. Okay, next one. And this is what I mean. This is what it costs me, and then the parts that I sell. The next one, it is going to be, where we got, oh, the rear spindles. Okay, can you do this cheaper? Yes. Have I done it? Yes. And here's the cons and the pros. So the pros with the one that I sell, they just bolt right up. Okay, now you can get the CRV or the Element. Okay, the cons with that is, okay, it throws everything off here in the back. The CRV or the Element will push your wheel about an inch forward, and it causes to rub here. You'll know that your wheel, it literally sits a little bit forward than that. The one that I sell, they just bolt right up, and that's it. You just bolt it up. There's literally hassle-free. You bolt it up, you put your axle in there, as you can see there. Okay, again, this what cost me to overdrive my RSX. Okay, you can do the Element or the CRV. Yes, you can. Is it gonna be some cons? Yes, absolutely. Can you still do it? Yes, a lot of people doing. That's how I started doing it with mine, but it creates a lot of issues. Okay, so, and again, you can't keep e-brake. It's a mess. Okay, the one that I have, you can keep e-brake, you can do everything. Again, I'm just sharing you guys the total that it cost me here to do mine. But, and again, I'm showing you guys that you can do this cheaper, but this is what it cost me to do it, and doing it the right way. All right, the last one is gonna be a fuel pump. You cannot keep a, how do I say it? So there's two ways to do it, okay? So if you buy my tanks, you can still run your factory, or, you know, your fuel pump piece that goes in there. I'm gonna find, I gotta have one here that I, here, actually I got one here. Let me show you what I'm talking about. Yeah, so there you go. So with the, you can see here the tunnel that I sell. So with the, you can put your actual fuel piece here, okay, and it reads everything, and you keep your stock, not your stock, but if you have an aftermarket fuel pump, you can keep it in there and not worry about buying another one. Okay, if you don't want to do it that way, you're gonna do it with the cheaper route, which is the would be with the $100-$200 fuel tank in the back. Like I was telling you, the people put it in the back seat, not in the back seat, but in the back trunk. You need an external fuel pump. Now, can you buy a cheaper fuel pump? Yes. Okay, absolutely. I have an external Magnum 750 on mine because we wanted to make a lot of power. So mine was a $500 fuel pump that I paid. It's fairly loud, but that's what we have. So the grand total, I have the price here. And this is what I'm talking about. I have the CRV stuff and the other stuff here. The grand total is gonna be right here. What it costs me to overdrive this car. And this is done right. This is not done, you know, cheaping out. I learned from my other car, and I wanted to do this right. And I'm telling you guys, I absolutely enjoy it. I am gonna make another video as in how much does it cost to actually, you know, build it, and the all the overdrive stuff, like, you know, the PPG and the turbo. So the total was $9,870. That is the total that it cost me to buy all this stuff. And that's not including labor. You gotta remember that. This is me doing everything myself. And this is like all the stuff that I also sell. You know, all the stuff that we also engineer and design throughout the bill for this car. But this is just the stuff that it retails for. And again, you can do this cheaper. You know, you can make your tunnel if you really want to. Again, people have been doing this, but it's just, you know, there's a lot of cons, and a lot of the pros that we have achieved is because we did a lot of cons, and we wanted to make this absolutely better and just a, you know, enjoyable setup. And I don't think it's a bad price, and this is doing right. This is not, you know, cheaping out. Oh, one thing I did forget now that I think about it, the drive shaft with the diff, that was with the 2 axles in the back. Now the CRV, the wagon stuff, you can find those on Facebook Market, on the Overdrive Honda pages. That's where I find my stuff, because a lot of people I know they're gonna ask. So hopefully this videos help you, give you kind of an idea what it will cost. Like I said, you can do this cheaper, absolutely. Just be aware of the cons. This is done right. I drive this car everywhere. Has AC, has power steering. I literally, like I said, I enjoy this car a ton. Absolutely amazing. And I will highly recommend somebody to go this route, because I haven't broken anything. I haven't broke drive shaft. I haven't broke diff. I haven't broke axles. I haven't broke anything. And we're making 800 horsepower. So think about that. So you're like, oh, I don't want to make that much power. Eventually you're going to want to push it up, and you're going to break the stuff that you had. And I went through that. So I'm happy to make this video and share what has worked for me. Okay. So hopefully you guys watched the video. Hopefully this was informative enough, and you know, give you somewhat of a guidance on what to do and how to go about overdriving your RSX, and, you know, it's got an idea of parts expenses. And again, can you do this cheaper? Absolutely. Just, you know, source the parts, go about what you want to do. And then, yeah, I'm going to put some pictures there, some videos. Hopefully, I'll load it up there and make it helpful for you guys. And appreciate you guys watching the video. To the next one that I will do about the turbo setup. That way you guys can also get an idea how we made 800 horsepower on this setup.